I think Marcus is gonna like this one. Uh, have you ever gamed a lesbian?
Or even if you ever like what hooked up with a lesbian? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily, but yes, that would count.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got I've got too many stories when it comes to this.
Let's do it. Come
Um,
on.
yeah, I mean, one that sticks out in my mind. By the way, I just want to premise this to give advice first, which is most guys, when they're speaking to a lesbian, right, or a girl that says they're lesbian, is they get way too excited, and the first thing they start asking is like, oh, is like they just assume, like they just have this fantasy that suddenly this girl's going to be really into them, and they're going to bring like another girl from the club, they're going to go home and have this amazing threesome. It's like, no, if this girl is actually lesbian, like she's asexual towards you, right? She's not attracted to you at all. This is like not an exciting girl to talk about. This isn't sexy. This girl finds you repulsive, all right? This is a girl sees you the same as your mate would, okay? There's zero attraction there. So if you just have like a pure lesbian, this is probably like never gonna work, never gonna happen. And you might as well just like become friends with her because you can game together. And I've had lesbian friends like that where it's this is actually a really good wingman. Okay. Like you're both after the same thing, you both have the same goal, like go out together. Um, that being said, I've had a couple of funny occurrences where once I went gaming with girls seeing, and we found a lesbian and picked her up, but she was just so interested in my goal, it literally became like she was trying to like amog me in the end. So it became we're like in my bedroom, and it just became like really awkward. Um, and then I've had an occurrence with a girl lesbian where we pulled there was me and my buddy, we pulled two girls. One was virgin, one was lesbian. And it was hilarious because they're in our bedroom, and basically the virgin is like trying to get practice on how to give a blowjob. So like she's asking that. And then the lesbian is like, look, I'm not attracted to you at all, but you seem like you really know what you're talking about. You're really good in bed. Like, can you just eat me out? I was like, what the fuck? So again, it's like a really awkward thing where I'm like eating this girl out. She's enjoying it, but not attracted to me whatsoever. And then the guy I was like gaming with was teaching this girl how to give a blowjob. So yeah, look, if you're gaming a lesbian, unless she's bi, in which case, well, it's all good. You're on. Like it's a lot easier to make something happen there and pull a threesome and do whatever. If you're just with a lesbian, it sounds really fun, sounds like a nice fantasy, but at the end of the day, it usually just ends up awkward because this girl's never actually going to be attracted to you.
Yeah, I had two situations. One was a girl I met at a rooftop party, and she was like we were talking, and I didn't know she was lesbian. Both situations I didn't know they were lesbians until after the fact, after like talking to them for a while. But me and this girl were making out, and then like I tried to take her back, and she was like, "Oh, I can't do that, because I'm not really into guys like that, but I just like kissing you, whatever it is like that." And the girl that she was dating was there too, so they was just like I guess they just do that or whatever. But the second girl that I ran into was on the train coming from some event. She was just there. We were talking, and I went to her house, and she told me she was a lesbian, but I didn't believe her. I thought she was. I was like, she got to be bisexual or something. Well, so, but then when we got actually into it, I started to believe she was because the sex was terrible. But so I kind of thought, yeah, she probably is because it seems like she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And then that was basically like the only two times that happened in my situations.
Oh man. Um, I got a few fucking funny ones, but yeah, there was one I remember like writing this in a chat or something, but there was a woman who went like full fucking psycho on this guy after I came out of a restaurant. She was just like walking across the street with a suitcase, and it's somewhere in London near Hyde Park or something. This was fucking years ago. And she started having some kind of fight with a guy who had dinner with like my group, and it was like the most random thing. I can't even fucking remember what it was about, but I was like de-escalating the situation, and I was like, "Oh, what's in your suitcase? A purple dildo?" And she was like, "How the fuck did you know?" Like, I don't know if that was actually what was in there, but um, they started like getting really hissy with each other, and like she got super fucking aggressive and wanted to call the police or some shit on this guy. But I was like, okay, just fucking separate. And she was getting a taxi and she gave me her number or something. And she was a lesbian. And then she invited me out like 1 or 2 weeks later or whatever. And she pulled me to her place and she got naked and she was like, it's so hot. I'm just gonna go to bed. And she just like went to bed naked. I'm just like in her front room, which is connected to her bedroom. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I go over there and she invites me to the bed and everything. And there you go. And there was this one guy in the chat who was like, she wasn't really a lesbian, but technically, I don't fucking know. But there we go, fucking canceled. Um, yeah, you be the fucking judge, but she is a fucking lesbian. There's another one where this I went on a date with this woman and went to some nice place, and she was like a school teacher or something, and I couldn't pull her on that first date. So I was surprised because I normally do pull on the first date. So I was like, I'm not doing this fast enough. There's something wrong here. And then on the second date, she admitted that she was a lesbian and never had an experience with a man before and was only coming out of lesbianism. I don't know how to fucking explain this shit, but this is so fucking random. So I was like, okay, how about next time you just show up at my house and you wear like high heels and lingerie underneath and don't say anything. We don't say any words to each other. You just turn up at my place and I open the door and I lead you upstairs and I'll take care of everything. She was like, okay, that would work. So that's my other lesbian story. That one was kind of funny though, because never would I have imagined that a woman would be like retiring from lesbianism. So I was like, that's so fucking random. But anyway, any other comments on this?
Yeah, I approached a girl once in a club, and she was actually with her girlfriend. So I kind of leant back, and they invited me to go and sit with them. We were having a bit of a vibe, a bit of a good time, and they invited me back to their house to have some more drinks with them after the club. And it started getting a little bit flirtatious, a little bit heated with the one that I was more attracted to. And yeah, obviously after several Jack Daniels and whatever, the girlfriend of the girl that I was interested in walked in on us, kind of getting a bit more physical. So long story short, we're in the kitchen and she's pulling a pair of scissors on me, and yeah, man, it got a little bit crazy, but I practiced my frame control and calmed her down, and the girl I wanted sent her home, and then we ended up, yeah, having a pretty heavy night. But yeah, I think she was bisexual, but at that point in time, I thought she had a girlfriend, and it got a little bit intense at one point. Yeah.
Especially
Jesus,
after
this
all
girl
that
tried stabbing you?
scissoring.
Yeah, well, yeah, she pulled a pair of scissors, and I was just stood there like fucking.
How
What
ironic, a
you?
pair of
Yeah,
scissors.
what are you planning to do with that? I was like, shit, man. I was like, I'm in a position now, but she calmed down and she went home, and yeah, things happened.
Oh, that's fucking dangerous. These dangerous lesbians coming at us with these scissors. I don't know what they're thinking. Okay, let's move on. What the fuck? That question just came to me like 2 hours ago. I was like, I might as well fucking ask this. It's gonna be crazy.